Hello, friends. Today we're going to look at AUI 2000 play Shadow Shaman, a very good player, rank 39. I'm sure you're all familiar with him. If not, he's very good. He's a pro player. He's going to play Shadow Shaman 5, and we're going to watch. We're not going to watch 3 of these this time. We'll keep it to 1 for now. In the future, maybe we'll go back to doing a bunch in a row. Let's talk about his items real quick before the game starts. Tangos and a salve. He's probably against Enchantress and Tiny, which Tiny hits really hard. She's really fast, so she can chip you down a lot. Plus, she's going to get her enchanted creeps, which are also going to hit you. So having a lot of regen, pretty important for this lane. The ward, I would guess, is to block the hard camp because, like I just said, Enchantress is going to get a creep, and it's going to be really annoying to deal with. So being able to block the hard camp is pretty good. Clarity, he's got a high mana cost, decent mana pool, but yeah, high mana cost spells. So having a Clarity to regen a bit so that, you want to be able to keep casting Ether Shock and Shackles in lane. Well, with a Void Spirit, or a Faceless Void, it's not so important to cast Shackles early compared to, say, Ursa, where you might even start Shackles. Faceless Void, when he gets a few points in Bash, that's when Shackles can be better, but that won't be for at least a few minutes. But Ether Shock does a lot of damage, so being able to cast this several times is pretty good, and that's why you want the mana. The Windlace, I would guess, is because so Shadow Shaman, I've seen pros start with Boots and Windlace, and I think it's because Shadow Shaman's a fairly slow hero with a short attack range, but has a pretty high attack damage. So if he's actually able to trade right clicks, that tends to be good for him. And he has a decent amount of armor as well So his issue is that he actually has to get in range to attack, and he also has pretty short cast ranges on his spells. So I think the move speed really helps this hero get into range to trade and use his spells. Whereas if you're too slow, people just, they attack you and then they run away, and you aren't really able to trade with them. His lineup, I would say his team's pretty, there we go, blocking the camp. I would say his team's pretty well set to win this game as long as they're doing okay going into the late game. But, you don't want to get run over either. They could lose early. But I think they have good ways to get on top of Drow and Lina, who are both a bit fragile heroes if people get on top of them. And you've got people like Clock, Ember, a Faceless Void to go in and Chrono. So we do see Enchantress and Tiny. He's looking to click the heroes, is my guess. So see 2 armor on that. Sees Treant as well, so there's actually 3 heroes. Treant's a bit on his own, but now they're coming in, so you want to get out. Oh, actually, when did he queue up these items? Let's see when he queued them up. Looked like he had them queued up ahead of time. So let's talk him through. Sentry. If he's going to block this camp, they're going to know, and they're going to de-ward it. And having a Sentry to block it again, pretty good. But this is also a very tough lane, so it's important for him to have a small camp to pull. And if that gets blocked, then he wants a Sentry to be able to unblock that. A Clarity because, again, his high mana cost, same with that Mango, and then a Salve because he's expecting it to be a tough lane and to need a lot of regen. All right, now we can get going. So we're going to see all this again real quick. My bad, guys. Blocks the camp a little bit, and Void's kind of looking up there, and he would have body blocked it if it was going to be an issue. I think... Yeah, so it did end up being a little close, but I think this is okay because Void was standing here watching for the creeps to come in and could have kept them out for a little bit. And when the lane is really bad, I think it's not so bad for this to happen, where doing this can help you get a level advantage to then fight back. But... Oh, I was wondering, I was like, wait, where'd that extra creep go? Enchantress took one of the creeps over, so that is going to help keep their lane balanced. Otherwise, their lane would have pushed a lot, so that's kind of good. I'm wondering if that was part of the plan. If they knew, if that's I don't see too many Enchantresses, and I'm wondering if that's part of the meta where they know Enchantress is going to steal an enemy creep, and so you want the lane close to your side so you can not get pushed too heavily. Maybe that's reading into it too much. Has his Sentry and a Salve, so he's getting those first because he still has his Clarity, so he doesn't quite need mana yet. It's more important to stay healthy. Enchantress missing I would guess she might be looking for a creep right now. So she sees this hard camp is blocked, and she might be, and she dewarded it, by the way. But she might be looking for a creep. Here she is. She found her creep. AUI probably just dead here. Yep. Sent his courier here when he knew he was going to die. And then he'll TP back and pick it up, I'm sure. Is he going to buy his stuff? Not? Interesting. Looking to deward her sentry. Because he wants to block this camp again and needs to make sure that, you know, her sentry is still there, so he doesn't want her to just deward it again. Runs back to lane. This is going to be a tough lane because he can't really pull and fight Enchantress on his own because Enchantress is way stronger with a creep than Shadow Shaman. So he kind of has to play the lane, and it's going to be really tough. I would expect him to try to leave this lane pretty quickly, and they're just going to have to give the lane up. And Void will try to go jungle. But until then, he has to, like, stick real close, because if he leaves out too much on his own, he'll die. Can't really chase Enchantress. Missed the chance to pull. That camp's dead. Yeah, every time it's close to pulling, Enchantress is here. Can't really do much. These trees are broken, so we can run through them. I don't know if he broke them. I think Void actually cut them down. He might straight up die. Okay, Shackles to try to save his carry and then back off. You don't need to do the full duration Shackle because Void got out. I'm going to point this out. This very high-level stuff where they keep fighting for this camp. Because it's really important. If she can get a free hard camp neutral every minute from this camp and then farm the rest of it, like, the lane for sure is won. Even her having to run over here to steal a neutral and then run back pretty much won them the lane. So not having to waste that time and run back and forth is in this guy's favor to try to, like, to fight this out. And that's why AUI also has to fight it out, because he doesn't want her to have that. He wants Enchantress to have to leave the lane for a little bit to go find her neutrals. Missed the Centaur Stomp, so should be safe for a little bit more. Saving up his money. I guess because in the end, he's not really casting that many spells and decided he doesn't need it. That was some unfortunate timing. Shackles him just as he uses Avalanche, so Shackle gets canceled. Void gets killed. So this is a sign it's time to leave the lane, guys. You are under tower and you have both heroes, and they are just walking under here and killing you, and there's nothing you can really do. You know, even if he had gotten the Shackles out a little sooner, Void would have lived, so that part is unfortunate. This is a nice juke. He ate that tree. He's gonna get out? Nice. So right now, he's just wasting their time. They're looking for him. He's getting this XP. Void's coming back. Second point in Shackles. I think second point in Shackles lets you gank better. And it also has a bit more saving potential than Ether Shock. What did he buy? I missed it. The mid laners are all chatting a bit. He's going to come over. He couldn't get this rune. He might... Now he's just looking to gank mid, perhaps. So he is running. Running over to gank. Yeah, is he going to get this? Yep. I wonder why she turned around. She might have been trying to stun. She was either trying to stun or she misclicked. But... Okay, Void's probably dead. Yeah. So... We just talked about how he can't do anything in the lane anymore, you know, because Void is over here. Void just died, and he's come back to the lane, but, like, there's not really much he can do, whether he's in position or not. And so now is a really good time to try to get a gank going because it was the 5-minute runes. He walked over to possibly check up here, but maybe they're talking. We can't hear that part, saying, like, oh, this is an opportunity, we can kill her. And, like, they do. And so this is really good when you can't do much in your lane and you decide, like, I'll go make something else happen on the map. Because even though Void died again, if Ember gets off to a really good start, then Ember can create a lot of space for Void to go, you know, just slowly catch up and farm. In terms of items, I think... Did he get another set of tangos, or did he still have this from before? Okay, he still had the tangos from before. but he bought a... Here, he bought raindrops, his wards, and a smoke. I think the smoke is really good because this means like he just tried to gank and he's gonna keep doing this if I had to guess because bottom lane is so rough. He really can't do much bottom. If he tries to pull alone, enchanters will probably just kill him or chip away all his health. And if he tries to play the lane, like that's what he's doing and they're losing, you know? So his options in this bottom lane are not great. So he's decided, all right, Void, just do your best, try to survive, get XP. I'm going to go make things happen, get kills mid, get this Ember going. Maybe he'll even rotate top and try to win this lane. And Void will probably just go to the jungle, is my guess. And then if Ember picks up, he's going to be able to get a lot of kills, create space. And that's what this smoke is for, is to help perhaps gank Lina again, if I had to guess. Or maybe go top. Or maybe they'll make a play with Void to come bottom. Or I'm sorry, with Ember Spirit to come bottom. Infused Raindrops will provide him some tankiness and give him some mana regen, which is pretty important against a burst hero like Lina. These are pretty cost-effective in terms of mana regen. He is a little low in terms of mana, but he can shackle one more time. And he really only needs one good shackle for Ember to kill Lina, if Ember has all his spells. So he sees that he's got the rune still here. He's going to grab that. Sees a haste rune here, which means they're going to try to make a play, if I had to guess. Bottle your boy? Yeah. So they know Lina is going to come back here. And I think they're waiting for that. I think they're looking for Lina. Placing a lot of vision. That's how you know he wants to play here. You know, he placed this one first to spot this area to see if Enchantress or Tiny might run over behind him, because that would get him killed. And now he like really wants to kill Lina again and make a play around here. That's what this ward is for. It also helps to protect Ember so that, you know, they just got a kill and they're looking for a second kill. And they want to make sure that they don't in turn rotate back and kill this Ember and flip the play. So she just appeared out of nowhere. That means she smoked to run back to lane. I think because she TP'd. Yeah, she TP'd when she got killed. And now, so she had to get back to lane. So we see her use a smoke to try to get back here sooner. And now they're looking to make a play while he is 6 and she is 5. Waiting for this guy to come back full health, maybe. And see, so this is what all this vision helps them do, is that he knows she's here and they can come up and play like this. Although I kind of think this Ember should have waited for this, for Shadow Shaman. But it's going to work out. Okay. Gonna kill her. People are rotating in, but I think they'll still get the kill. Yep. And this guy's haste, so he's totally fine. So he's just leaving. Treant gets killed top. Comes bottom because there is a large wave here. And you see Void has just been farming in the jungle this whole time because he can't lane and you don't need to be here anymore. So he's going to come down here and get the XP. He wants to try to hit 6 as quickly as he can so that you can start pushing objectives. His team does not have the best tower hitters. Ember, not very good at it. Clock and Skywrath, not very good at it. Void's okay later in the game, as most carries are, but it's going to be a while for Void to get there. And what makes Void good as a carry is not good against towers, you know, where he is like bashing. You can't bash towers. The Chronosphere, you're not going to chrono a tower to take it, but it's really good in a team fight. So Void, of all the carries, is not particularly a great tower taker either. So that's why it's really important to get Sharpened Wards as fast as possible. Needs to get more mana. I'm kind of surprised. It looks like he was saving for boots, and then I'm going to guess he also bought a Clarity. Like, a raindrop is nice, but it's not enough to let you make all these plays, especially as you approach 6 and want your Mass Serpent wards ready. What do you get? Boots and a Clarity. Yep. He's going to stack. Clarity up. Smoke. Okay, Skywrath? Skywrath outputs a lot of damage as a support. Even though this isn't like the most high damage combo right now without the ultimate, you know, you've got a Drow, 880 health, Lina 900, Enchantress 720, and these guys are a bit tankier. He's really tanky, but their cores are not Like, you can kill these guys. They don't have a great escape. It's very possible for the supports to get kills, especially with, like, Hex into Shackle, into a Slow, into Silence, plus, like, the Ether Shock. Like, these two supports can actually make things happen. So I think the smoke between the two is very good, and they'll probably look for a kill either just on their own, or they might try to meet up with the offlaner. They see Treant. Treant's not the ideal target, and it looks like they know that. They're not looking for him. They're wondering where's the carry. They find Drow. Yep, look, easy kill. Oh, okay, easy kill. Woo! And a courier by chance. Now they've just given up bottom. That just happens sometimes. Like, the enemy offlaner is often stronger than your carry combo. This can happen very easily, and sometimes you have to just sack it. And Void did get to a point where he could kind of jungle a little bit before they had to ditch the lane. I think Void was level 3 or 4, which isn't the best, obviously. Like, you'd prefer to win the lane. And unfortunately, he just died again, so Void's having a really rough time. But he's been pretty effective as a position 5, right? Instead of just losing the bottom lane, he is almost at level 6. He has gotten 3 assists, so he's helped mid get a kill, 2 kills, and then he just got a kill with Skywrath as well. So he's making things happen instead of just losing in the bottom lane. And it's important to know that, well, it depends on what you're playing, but Shadow Shaman is a hero that can go get things done because he has 2 stuns and a very strong burst. And the move speed helps with that as well, because otherwise he's too slow. This ward is also, he wants to play top right now, and that's what this ward is for, is to spot people coming into this lane and to make it easier to play in here. Looking for ooh. So they might have been able to kill Treant there if that hook connects. Treant is very hard to kill if he stays in the trees for these guys, and so they kind of needed to see him pop out. I think maybe that's also what the ward was for. If they see Treant even leave a little bit, then you can hook shot in and get that kill and then take this tower. But as long as Treant is alive, it's pretty hard to get this tower. I'm not sure what happened there. He just kind of like didn't react to the Treant. So the question is now, are they going to defend mid or are they going to take top? It looks like he's running mid. It seems a little late though. Like, it doesn't look like you're going to get here in time. Is he going to use wards to try to defend mid? Okay, his team's all rotating in. Yeah, it seems a little... I don't know. That seems weird. I would have thought, okay, it's dead. Let's just, like, use wards to get safe lane tower. Okay, he knows his team will get them, so he's looking in deep for this. Sometimes people see someone dying and they all just run in. If they're dead, you don't need to do that. He's looking for more kills. He saw Enchantress, and then when Drow started doing multi-shot, like, that revealed that Drow's there. So Hex into the ult. Usually I don't like ults to... I like Shadow Shaman ult to get towers, not kills. But in this case, there were 2 heroes down there, and his team is a bit behind, so they kind of need to take what they can get. Plus, they're close enough where you see how they just get the kills here, and now the lane's already over here. That means it's not going to take them too long to push it to the tower, so they can get a bit of tower damage here if they want. So, you know, winning the fight with the wards kind of leads to some tower pressure, but not the most, and in fact, they're not even going to try. So now I just look silly. Might be saving up for Arcane Boots, because he would really like to have Aether Lens this game. In general, he wants Aether Lens, but especially this game when Lina can stun him, Tiny can throw Avalanche, there's a Silence. He wants to be able to cast from as far as possible. They were looking for Treant here. Q's the wave to help push it faster. Smokes as a group, so they're going to look for a kill. These 3 can definitely do it. Sees there's a ward, ignores it for now because that would just reveal that they're smoked. Ember is their initiator, goes in to start it off. They follow up. Not much to say there. Yeah, he's going to run up top, or did he send his courier? He sent his courier. He's got Arcane Boots on the way. Arcanes are nice for his team, and they're going to build into Lens, and then probably Tranquils after. That's pretty common for Shadow Shaman. Okay, ulting mid tower because you want to get pressure, and you just got some kills. So they're hopefully not going to be able to defend this right away. but they might, and that's why they're a little scared. So in this case, because I think you see someone bottom, I don't think they can actually see this hero. I think that's a glitch. But they know someone's dead, and they know that Treant will protect the tower. Or, like, he'll heal the tower. If you don't take it, then it's just going to get healed up to full. And that's why, in this case, I kind of think it's okay for the supports to risk their lives to try to hit this tower, because it's really important to get this. And if you don't fully commit to it, and you do, like, 90% of its health and get pushed back, next time you go there, you're going to have to do 90% of its health again, because Treant is just going to heal it up. And I think dying to get the tower is kind of worth it against a Treant. He's going to get that ward they saw earlier, and now they're going to come top, because this is the next objective. They don't really want to go bottom. Bottom's been pretty miserable for them. I thought he was going to stay hidden from the creeps, but then... he was, and then he popped out and hit it. Again, you see several of the heroes over there, so you know this is safe to do. Otherwise, I don't think he would be up this far. Even though you do need to commit against a Treant, I think if you don't know where any of them are and they're all alive, like, I don't think you would do that. But you saw, or he saw, several in the bottom to mid lane, so it, like, felt safe to do. Trying to help his Ember out. Ooh, that's very unfortunate. Got silenced. They got a return kill on an Enchantress, but I think is she the support or the offlaner? Tiny's the offlaner. I wasn't fully clear. Actually, I knew that. I don't know why I said that. I saw her running around as a support. All right. What's he going to do? Doesn't buy a stick. I'm kind of surprised by that. I guess Drow, you don't really get that many charges. I don't think you get a charge from Impetus. It's very difficult to get charges from Treant. Maybe it's not worth stick. Maybe the 200 gold is worth more rushing for the Aether Lens. Could be. They see the Drow. They're going to go kill her. Oh. Did I miss something? I'm going to look at the mini-map, because if something doesn't make sense and you were just watching this, then the next best guess is that they saw something on the mini-map that made him do this. I guess it's that they didn't see anyone, and maybe they weren't sure if people were coming over, but I think it's weird to commit the ult there because they have 3 people on a Drow. And I don't know. I know of the important heroes to kill, it's Lina and Drow. Those are the ones you want to get the kills on. And so it's kind of okay to commit the ult for them. But at the same time, I feel like those 3 heroes that they have here could easily have gotten the kill. Like Skywrath could have used his ult, and then you save this ult to push the tower. So I don't know. It's a little weird to me. But it's kind of working out right now, so I guess it's fine. Okay, guess a full wand. Never mind what I said. Why didn't he just finish the Aether Lens, though? Or is it on the way? Did I miss that? Let's see. What's he pick up? Oh, okay. He did finish the Aether Lens and then buys the wand, so that makes sense. He felt like rushing the... Well, actually, he was rich from that. Did I miss that? Did he get all the kills? Oh, he got the Drow kill plus a courier. So he was really rich. And then... So it seems like he thinks rushing the Aether was worth it this game. And I kind of agree, because Aether is just so good on Shadow Shaman. But... Well, actually, there is no but. He just thought it was really good to rush, more so than like 450 into the wand, which could have delayed his Aether Lens. Now, in the end, he was able to get Aether Lens plus the wand and finish the Tranquil Boots, which only needed like a 175 gold item anyways, but that's the order. Get your Aether Lens, then turn your boots into Tranquils, and then get the wand. And that's kind of why it's okay to start Windlace and boots, because you know you're going to turn them into Tranquils after you finish your Arcane Lens or your Arcane Boots and turn them into an Aether Lens. So you're making use of the Windlace. And then even buys another one because that extra move speed is just really nice on a hero like Shadow Shaman. What are you doing, sir? Wants to get bottom tower, is my guess. Looks like it. So no one else on his team really wants to push this tower. Like, all the cores don't really want to come down here and force an objective because this is the least favorable tower. But he's just a support and even a position 5, so he's happy to do this. And he was hoping this was not going to happen. But, you know, we don't get everything we wanted. Unfortunately, his ult was just off cooldown. But the idea was like, okay, I'll push this tower and then ult. Unfortunately, Tiny has rotated and has a blink and killed him. But sometimes, you know, I don't know if he knew Tiny had blink. I would guess not. Buys a couple sentries. I think it's always good to get sentries, but I wonder if he has a specific plan for them in mind. If there was something that revealed he had vision. I didn't quite notice, but maybe he suspects it. Or he might just get them in general. The support dying. I would guess this ward is because he suspects a fight's going to break out. He's right. He's going to ult. Okay. I mean, this was a pretty big fight that was breaking out, so I think it's okay to commit the ultimate. But it doesn't look like it's going to do much because they're kind of just dead right off the bat. So this is why it always feels bad when you ult for team fights. Fortunately, the enemy team isn't going to farm it because this is a pretty dangerous part of the map. But now you're kind of just... They just walk away from the ult. And this is why I think it feels bad to ult in fights as Shadow Shaman, unless you really know like something's going to happen. And, I mean, it really did look like something was going to happen there, so I get why he ulted. And another way to look at it is that he saved his Void Spirit by zoning them away with his ultimate. This is a nice kill to get. Possible because of Aether Lens. Like, look how far you can hex. She has no time to silence. Whereas if he didn't have this Aether Lens, she probably silences him as soon as he walks around here, and he's not in range to hex yet. So, good stuff. Chose to get... Actually, I wasn't paying attention to his skill build fully. Let's go back a little bit. Okay, so chose to max out... Got 2 points in Shackles early to be able to make plays, and then has since then been leveling up Ether Shock, which I think is a good choice, because that lets you... Wait, was this before or after the Drow kill? Okay, we're back. For some reason, I just got lost in the timing, and I was, like, jumping all over the place. I'll cut that out. So they get the kill on Drow, and I think that's in part thanks to this Aether Lens. He is going to die to the Lina, but Shadow Shaman for Lina, or Shadow Shaman for Drow, totally worth it. Clockwork should be totally fine. He's very healthy. And they're going to kill Enchantress. Had to use Chrono, but they're going to get a Tiny as well. Good stuff. Picks the 175 health. I think that makes sense. They have a lot of burst between Lina and Tiny, and some impetus damage. Drow doing a lot of damage. I think he just wants to survive and get his spells out. And so I think the health matters a lot more than adding more damage. What's his name? Skywrath and Ember have a lot of damage right now anyway, so I don't think his team really... Like, they're pretty squishy, you know? So I don't really think you need an extra 140 damage when you've got these guys. What is the play? I think they want that bottom tower. Or at least he wants that bottom tower. There's a catapult here too. A ward for vision to know. That was hopeful. I don't know, that was quite far. So what this ward lets you do is lets him hide in the trees. And if these creeps get killed off, they have no lane vision. And so it's like, well, I don't know where to jump out to get the carry. Or the Lina, for example. Lina nukes this wave. And does she run out? Or is she further back? Who knows? But this ward lets you see it. And that way, let's say she's right here. You know, that's well within range of you having to pop out and hex her. But you don't know she's there. So you have to actually leave. And you're going to see each other at the same time. Which means if she's faster than you, she could Yules really quickly. But with this ward, it means from out of sight, he can hex into a shackle. And possibly even, you know, he can hex, ward, and then shackle if he wants to. But, you know, with the... maybe Clockwork's not enough damage on his own, so he may have to ult. But either way, it makes it easier to get the kill. And that's what this ward's for. Hesitant to use his ult to push this, though. Didn't have enough creeps, I would guess. Using it now. And you notice the other team wants to protect this. They fortify it and use the treant. That's just to buy some time, because they're going to get fortified back when they use this tower anyways, or lose that tower. And in the off chance they can save that tower, that's great. Rotates bottom to try to help once stuff starts happening. We're going to buy next a Blink. Pretty good. Just because this team doesn't have a... like... This guy initiates, you know? He uses his ult, but then they can BKB, and then you lose out a lot on the magic damage. Because his stuns are not continuous. He ults, that's a stun, but then the battery assault and the pushback, there's time to BKB in between all of that. He only has a root, and you can BKB that. Silence Atos if you wanted to, like whatever, but it's all BKBable. The only thing that they can't BKB is Void, but Void does not like being a primary initiator. And so he doesn't necessarily want to have to follow into Clockwork's ult. He kind of wants to wait a bit and let them group up. So I think this Blink is a great way to, add some chain stun potential that doesn't involve Void, and Void can wait for a perfect ult. Well, not perfect, but a good ult. It's a mistake to wait for the perfect ult. They smoked up. This is a good ward to spot. Like, they're literally fighting right now. So dropping this ward to C is really good. Solid chrono. Willing to commit the ult, because if they win a team fight significantly here, then they can just push towers on their own, and they don't need the ult. Okay, and there we go. A very clean fight. They decide they want to get Roshan. I think that's good. Their team does not have the best Roshan, and so when you want to do Roshan without Serpent Wards, you need to know that you're going to be very safe, because it's going to take your team a while to do it. And so I think right now, with 4 dead, this could be a good time to do it. They pinged it, but I guess they don't want to do it. So never mind. I do think that would have been a decent time. It may have been a little hard to... And it does look like they're up before they could have finished it. And without a tier 2, I guess they can't get this outpost. So yeah, maybe it is too risky. Did get his Blink from that, though. I wonder what he'll get next. The BKB too greedy? Might be. So this is getting less and less important as the game goes on. It's still nice to provide some tankiness, but like, you need to have your wards ready as a support. He prefers having the extra move speed as well, and then obviously you're gonna have the Blink in, so. They might try to smoke. Yeah, it looks like they want to smoke. I think you win a big team fight and then get Roche, or you can take one of these T2s, get the outpost set up for Roche, try to win one more fight. Depends how significant the fight is. I guess he's just taking his chance. Blinks out there to see if he can find anyone. They're waiting to see if someone will come push this out. Just kidding, he's just going to push it out. That's why I thought he was going to wait. I also kind of think they need detection to spot the treant in the trees. I know you have a... Oh, I guess Skywrath has dust. Is he? I don't like when only one person has dust. Looks like he's going... He had 5 sentries there. He is a bit slot-starved. He's doing quite well, so he has his, like, 2 core items. He doesn't really need anything else, honestly, as a position 5. I kind of feel like you probably just sell the infused raindrops, have dust in besides the wind laced, and be willing to swap it in after you use your dust. Because with this shovel, you're digging up salves, so you don't have any more slots to just hold dust. I think you do have to sell this infused raindrops. He's keeping the infused raindrops in case he finishes up his wards. Then he'll have an empty slot, and then he can put his infused raindrops in. So I'm going to point out, they saw her. They weren't quite willing to commit yet. I'm kind of wondering why. Because to me, it's like, okay, the enemy team, I don't see anyone on the enemy team, so I'm a little scared to commit. That's what I thought. And then immediately, Ember kind of goes in, and then they do commit. So I'm not sure why they didn't go there and preferred to wait till here. Possibly this is a bit safer of an area than in the lane. Or maybe they just weren't quite ready to go over there. I'm not sure. But that went well. Are they going to do Roche, or are they going to push? Looks like they're going to do Roche. So I want to see where AUI stands. So he wants to help his team get vision first. Oh, they're going to get a kill too. Nice. Why are they... They're looking for a tiny kill, maybe? That's what he's pinging. Oh, nice. So because they got that other kill, they felt very safe to do this with just the two of them. This is something that you kind of need a lot of coordination with your team, so I wouldn't worry too much about imitating this kind of stuff. But to me, this is just high-level players playing at a very fast pace, knowing that, okay, look, we can't go for a 2v... We can't send just Clockwork and Shadow Shaman for kills if they have 3 people together. Like, they could potentially have 3 people together, and that would be really bad. But you get that kill top, and now it's like, okay, at worst, it's a 2v2, and so we can probably go for these kills now. And they go for it, setting up... You know, now this guy's dead, so it's still a 4v5, plus they have Aegis. So now they're in a pretty solid spot to continue pushing while Tiny's dead. Whereas if they hadn't rushed for that kill, it would be 5v5 right now, and they have to be a little more careful. Doing the old trick. Did he block that? Or is it right in front? Okay, he didn't block it, but he wants to see people farming there. I think that's a good spot. I keep hearing noises, guys, and I keep looking over. Going crazy. It's pretty uncommon for people to contest the tier 2. Okay, so look at that. He sees Lina TP down here, and he immediately says, like, I want us to kill her. She's trying to split push because she thinks that we're gonna push mid, we're gonna get this tower, and then like push up to high ground or something. So she's trying to push out the side lanes real quick and then be able to TP back because bots gives her only a 40-second cooldown. And so AUI is the one pinging it. And he's saying, like, you know, she came down here to split push this. That means no one else was down here, which means if we kill her right now, that's really good for us. That gives us a big opportunity. Knows she's back there. He's pinging it. And there it is. I might be crazy, but I believe... Yeah, so AUI walked in a way that was out of this range creep. And I want you all to appreciate that. Look at that. What would the fastest way be? Oh, was he smoked? No, this is a bug. He's not smoked right now. And so if she knows people are coming for her, then obviously she's going to, like, escape or, you know, be ready to react and maybe stun kill him first. But instead... Watch, he walks around the range creep, and I really like that. That is some high-level stuff. Now, it didn't matter because these two initiated, but, you know, it's cool. What if he was the one that initiated? Then that's really... That's significant, is that element of surprise. So they're going to smoke once they kill her. They're looking for a fight now because it's 4v5. And they rush over here. That's the other way you can think about it, that they're just trying to get to this lane faster, and the move speed helps them get here. Kill Tiny. I guess they're not feeling quite confident enough to go high ground yet. I say as Void is hitting that bottom tower on his own. They're still kind of like looking for kills and solo pickoffs, which I'm a little curious about. I would have thought it's really good to ult with Serpent Wards, but he seems to be playing a more... aggressive style where he's just like looking for kills. and keeping the game like not 5v5. I guess the enemy team can't really fight back if they're not 5v5, and Void can just do this on his own, so maybe that's why. He's playing real aggressive. He is walking up here. I don't think... I guess they are really ahead, and maybe the enemy team has just given up. Yeah, maybe they have, because this is really... Usually I would never recommend you guys just like walk up like this. But the enemy team's not out here. I don't think they're playing anymore. So I think he's won. Otherwise, walking up there is like really bad positioning, guys. But sometimes when you know like you're done, then you do silly things like that. So I'm going to tell you, I don't think you should ever just walk up like this unless you know the enemy team is like over. And maybe there are some like all chat stuff that we don't see. Or actually, we see the all chat stuff, so I don't know. Maybe I didn't see it. But they win. AUI, pretty good player. So I think the important thing to take from this game is how his lane was really bad, right? The Tiny versus Enchantress. And if we look at the graphs, like look, Tiny's doing fantastic. Enchantress not doing too bad herself. And Void off to a rough start, especially compared to Drow. 4.2k. Drow's doing really well against a Clockwork and a Skywrath. Which kind of makes sense because she's a ranged hero, so Clockwork struggles a bit. And that's it, actually, really, because Clockwork just struggles against ranged heroes. So both side lanes were in a rough spot. Ember doing pretty okay mid. And I think it's really important to note that that AUI recognized, okay, this bottom lane is awful. I can't do anything. I'm playing in this lane and they're still killing us. So what does he get from continuously going bottom? They're just going to keep dying and they're going to keep feeding. So instead, he just ditches it, right? Because it's like already bad lane. I will go make things happen to help our one winning lane, our Ember Spirit. And they were all chatting mid a bit. So obviously, if you're going to tilt someone tactically, the mid person's the target there. So he's going to go get her killed, help Ember get off to a good start. Ember's also his best player besides himself. And so usually you want to, you guys can't tell that when you just see like, oh, we're all Ancient 5, who knows? But if you know someone is playing really well or seems really good, you want to enable them. And so if your mid laner seems to be crushing it, then it's like, hey, let's just like follow this guy around, right? He's having a really good game. Maybe he's a smurf. Maybe he's just having a good game. But either way, he's probably my ticket to win this game. And I think AUI identified Ember Spirit, enabling this guy, getting some kills. That's how we win. What else? I think rushing the Aether Lens, I don't know if it's worth it for most of us casual players. I think a stick is often pretty good, and if you want to get a stick and then save for the Aether, that's fine. I think pro players cut some corners that we can look at and say it's good, but then if you're like a, Archon player or something, then it's like, okay, maybe I shouldn't cut that corner. Because AUI is taking a very calculated risk to cut this corner and knows that, okay, I'm going to have to play very smart with my mana. I have to be pretty conservative with my health because I don't really have any regen right now, but I'm doing all of this to get the Aether Lens sooner, and I'm going to try to like be part of kills, push objectives, whatever, and this Aether Lens will help me with that. Whereas some of us might see that and decide like, oh, let's also try to cut corners. I'm going to like skip stick. But then we don't know how to play as effectively as he is. We don't know how to like manage our mana as well or our health. And so then I think cutting the corner ends up hurting us. So I would not skip stick if I were you guys. Or at least I'm not going to recommend it. If you guys want to try it, feel free. Just know that some things that pro players do, we should not necessarily emulate, I think. So be careful of that. And then going around playing really active, also looking for kills. I think that's something we can all try to do. I think that's okay, but it does take coordination with the team, and that's a little tough to do. But yeah, he had some cool positioning tricks. The Aether Lens, the way he revealed himself to do the Aether Lens, where he broke out of trees and hexed the Drow. And then the same thing, you saw him place the ward in the bottom lane and hide in the trees to be able to hex people first. I think small tricks like that are really cool, that are easy to miss. Hopefully I pointed them out, and you guys might give them a try yourselves. Especially if you've recently seen Jenkins' video about like having Quelling Blade to cut through trees. That ward trick can be very much helpful with that, where you're hiding in the trees because of your Quelling Blade. Pop a ward in the lane so that you can actually see the people there. You know, if they nuke the wave too fast and you have no idea where they are, it's really hard to get the kill. So lane wards like that are very good for that. His warding in general was really nice. He put it whenever he needed, like his team was about to fight, whenever he was looking for kills, stuff like that. I think that's really good to look for. Okay, and with that, that's it. Well, I'm done. I'm done talking. Okay, with that, I'm done. Thanks for watching.